and Meditate is the first one to show in the journey. Lady Bullet is also showing plenty of early speed. Ibiza Love is quite handy as well. Morge and Miss Mai Tai behind those over on the far side with Beautiful Ashling. More down the centre showing plenty. Beautiful Eyes, who's racing together with Queen Ollie, and they've been tracked through by She's Hot. More towards the near side then Beautiful Eyes, Ladder Summer, the horse out in the centre. Right towards the Sant side is Double O in black and white, fully wet, now making that run towards the middle of the track. They make their way through halfway. Meditate, Lady Bullet, Ibiza Love, the leading three. From Beautiful Ashling, ridden along is Morge. Ladder Summer is still prominent, and then Queen Ollie. Kathy Come Home trying to get involved in the blue and white colours as they race now down towards the final quarter mile. It is Meditate who's come through to lead. Lady Bullet is battling away, then Ibiza Love. Running on just in behind is Ivory Madonna, then Beautiful Ashling and Morge. More near side coming into it late on is Queen Ollie, but Meditate goes home inside the final furlong. Queen Ollie pressing towards the near side. Morge is close up between them, and then Ivory Madonna is Meditate who's out in front, and Meditate will go on to win the Albany Stakes. Meditate the winner from Morge in second, then Ivory Madonna and Queen Ollie, followed close up by Sydney Arms Chelsea, then Lady Bullet and Alvinia.
There you go, it's another win for Aidan O'Brien, who is definitely leading trainer now this week. So far at Royal Ascot, Ryan Moore on board, stretching ahead of Morge there, and it looked like Ivory Madonna, who's finished in third, but that was decisive, Kevin, and you'd mentioned her very positively beforehand.
Yeah, she was very strong late on, Alex, and that was a feature of her first two runs. You know, she didn't necessarily go through the race terribly strongly, but in the final furlong was her best, and she was up in the box seat here the whole way. She was leading or disputing from the outset, and really it was inside the final furlong that she really began to pour it on. And look, Aidan O'Brien came into this week a little bit lighter than usual with his 3-year-olds and his older horses, but had a fine team of 2-year-olds, and now he's had a second one of the week, both by No Nay Never. But Asara having a big year. This is his first crop of expensively bred 2-year-olds, we'll call them, and they're certainly stepping up to the mark as hoped.
Sheen, have you been impressed with what you've seen here?
Yeah, Kevin and I were actually speaking about her around the paddock, how strong she is through her body. I thought Ryan gave her a fantastic ride. It's hard to make all here. You tend to get attacked early. Ryan controlled the fractions. He moved away from the horses that were putting some pressure on him on his right hand side in the early parts of the race. He shifted a little bit left to get that bit of room so she'd relax a little bit better, and she's hit the line very strong. Look, he's a world-class rider. We see time after time again why he's got big race winners all over the world.
And you weren't far off the mark with Morge. I mean, she's run a really solid race in second.
She has. Feel a little bit for her. Perhaps Ray would have ridden her more prominently. She seemed to hit the line strongly, but I don't think there's any excuses. The best filly won on the day.
And as they're saying, she looks like one that will certainly get the 7 a mile in the fullness of time. It might just have been too sharp of a test for her at this stage of her career, maybe. She didn't travel nearly as well as the winner.
Yeah, Kevin's dead right there. Look, she's bred to probably stay a little bit further. Exceed and excels a mile as well within their compass.
Freddie, it's another winner for Aidan O'Brien. She remains unbeaten. This filly, she was an expensive yearling, and she looks like she's got a great attitude.
Absolutely. She cost €360,000. She was bought at the Arcana sale from Jamie McCommon, who's one of the main buyers for the Coolmore team. And look, she's done everything nicely. She's already a Group 3 winner over at Naas. That was second time out. And obviously this looks like a filly with a big future.
Yeah, she's exciting. And Ryan, another winner. Let's have a look. Drawn over in 4. And let's have a look when they break. She breaks pretty smartly there, Rasheen. And the lower draws do seem to have been dominating up this straight track.
Yeah, I wouldn't look too much into it, Alex. And in reality, I don't think the ground's any faster on that side versus the middle, for example. Ryan was very clever. We just saw, if you're watching the screen, he had a look around over his left shoulder. By doing that, he's disencouraging the jockeys around him to come and take him on. He manages to set his own fractions. They're going very steady here. Everything's kind of travelling on the bridle. And look, it was just a very clever ride from Ryan.
Yeah, he's still one of the best in the world, isn't he?
Yeah, he has big race experience. Riding in these races is no hassle to him. Some ladies and gents don't get this opportunity all the time, but Ryan would have more rides than anyone at a meeting like this.
I'll tell you, Alex, I'll just draw attention to the horse that's finished third there, Ivory Madonna. She's ended up coming from further back than the two that beat her. She came in here a maiden, having run well first time out for Richard Spencer. And here's a little fact for you. Her dam, Clem Fandango, finished third in the Queen Mary going back 6 years ago. So she's emulated her mother in finishing third in the Royal Ascot 2-year-old race.
Oh, there you go. Well, let's hope eventually she produces something that goes to better. But it was a great performance by her at a massive price. She wasn't a cheap purchase as a breezer. She was 150,000 guineas, and I'm sure Richard Spencer and Holly Doyle will be thrilled with what they've seen today from her, albeit, you know, she remains a maiden. She's got some very valuable placed black type now, but look at this filly. Apparently she's got a really laid-back attitude, and Aidan O'Brien says it was quite hard to get a handle on her at home. Do you find that often, Asheen, with horses?
It's very interesting. I'm a big fan of No Nay Never myself. Obviously alcohol-free, being a headline act, and you can see this filly has enough size and scope she could train on. She's got a lot of pace. I don't think she needs to be stepping any further than 6 furlongs, but her connections will make that decision later on in time. And it's great to see those colours of Michael Tabor in the winner's circle. You know, he doesn't have so many horses carrying his colours anymore, but he does have involvement in many of the Coolmore horses, and I would say in practically all of them. Kevin would know more about that than me, but they're very famous and colours I grew up wanting to wear, and actually I haven't had that many goes in them.
There might be time yet. There might be time yet. Anyway, the iconic orange and blue colours there of Michael Tabor just making their way back into the winner's enclosure. We'll get some reaction for you from our first race.
7 on the card. That is Christopher Robin, who's